All right, hello folks. We are back with another episode of Shackled City, and let's swing into it. I hope you guys dig some of the overlay stuff that I've got cooked up for you. I'm hoping, anyway. How's everybody feeling tonight? Let's start there.
Sweaty.
Sweaty, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the best place to start. Let's go with that. Why are you sweaty?
Man, Steven, you got like progressively uglier.
Wow. I had to run downstairs. One of the guys left a unit unlocked, so I had to go and lock that down.
Oh shit! Never mind. I thought Ronald was at your seat.
Nope, that's just Steven. Karami, thank you so much for gifting 5 subs. I appreciate that. Which takes me to my first point, guys. If this is your first time here, which we do have some new faces with us tonight, we are playing Pathfinder. It is not D&D 5th edition, as you may expect. This is Pathfinder 1st, and we have been playing inside of this set for a long time now. This is episode 189. Yeah, it's a lot of sessions, but I promise it is worthwhile. We are closing the gap on 200 live streamed episodes, which only makes my stomach turn a lot, considering the amount of effort we put into this game. But that's okay. It's always fun. So for those of you that are brand new to this stream, this is a tabletop experience that is not like you might see on typical tabletop channels. This is a lot closer to a bunch of friends sitting around a table together, munching down on some really terrible food, making lots of dick and fart jokes. I hope you are here for
eating
it.
apples.
Terrible food? No, I'm having Baby Bell.
You can't actually see Red's face. It's recognizing his face as the cookie, and for some reason,
I was hoping it would notice the bright yellow background, but it decided against it.
200 episodes and they still fuck up? Yeah.
I was looking around for some kind of food I have on my desk, and the only thing I have is a bottle of Advil, and I don't really want to represent myself as that kind of person. So
everybody's holding up snacks,
no food for me,
and you're just holding up a pill bottle, like, hey. Yeah, probably not a great indicator of whom you just might be.
One of those days.
So, yeah, this is basically a bunch of friends sitting around a table, doing some things together, and hopefully you enjoy that. If you're expecting intense roleplay all the way through, you're not going to find it here immediately, though there are some aha moments where they catch even me by surprise. Some things that you guys can do here. Every time that you gift 5 gifted subs to stream, they get a luck reroll, and we just saw our first from Karami, so thank you very much, Karami, for that luck reroll. I appreciate that. Every time 5 is gifted, that's one luck reroll that gives them a total of 5 max that they can acquire. I can do the same up to 5, but there have to be 10 gifted subs that come through. So every time you guys end up gifting 5, once it reaches 10, I reach that marker. So at 25 gifted subs, that's all theirs. At 50 gifted subs, that is mine, and I can influence any roll in the game with my luck reroll. Even if they nat 20 something and I'm like, fuck that noise, I don't like it, we're re-rolling that, says the DM. That's just the kind of power that you guys have. Additionally, you guys can make some things happen if you're supporters on Patreon. Consider supporting over on Patreon. You guys can make some wild shit happen, like wild magic rolls. I've already got one that's come through, courtesy of one person remembering it. But that's okay. That's what I expect out of this individual. They watch all the time. They don't miss an episode. And if they do, they definitely go back and catch the VOD. They let me know right away about whose day they want to ruin. So,
I'm very glad I don't have wild magic most days.
You know,
Also, keep in mind that
one day I'm gonna cast wild magic on your stomach just to see what happens.
Also, keep in mind that through Patreon, you can also go ahead and create characters to go ahead and ruin our time here in Cauldron.
To be fair, we're usually the ones ruining those characters.
I don't know, man. I mean, what was her name?
We tend to kill things we come across.
Legend?
there is that. Yeah. You guys do, in fact, tend to kill things that you come across. Yeah. Also, for what it's worth, if you guys actually want to have a bit more of a point in the game and you want to create a character, you can do that over on Patreon as well. Just check the area of which you'd like to be a part of. Now, it is some of the upper echelons, but you can have a lot of dramatic impact depending on the level of which you support, of which, at the $25 level, you guys can unlock a 5th level character that is focused around their vocation. The $100 level, it is a 10th level character or equivalent, and at the $200 level, if you happen to find a spot that is open, because they're rarely open these days, You find yourself in a situation where you make a 16th level or higher, up to a 20th level max, sentient creature that is either an ally or an adversary. So far, nobody has created an ally. So far. Yeah, it's been fun.
When you have enemies like ours.
I'm just hoping that they're all neutral.
Does one have to give all 5 gift subs? I mean, no, we don't technically have to have all 5. So if Abby, if you were to gift like 3 and someone else were to gift 2, then that's a thing. Generally, I look at that point. So right now we're sitting at 236 points. You can actually see by the tiny face just below my camera box. And for verification purposes, I'll move this to a new tab so I can see if that's even a thing. We are currently sitting at 236 subscribers. So when we hit 241, or whenever that metric goes up by 5, then I'll make sure to give you guys another lucky roll. So, what else is there? Let's talk about what happened last time. And I'll let everybody know about the Bit Boss Bloodbath as we go along. So, would anybody like to take control of that recap?
Yeah, I got it.
Do you?
But everyone, before we do that, go into your beds. Grab that box. Open it up for me. Look inside. And do me a favor. And grab your chains and grab your locks. And get ready for tonight's Shackled recap. Oh, my leg.
What the fuck? Why is it my leg?
I'm surprised you just don't have a Stream Deck mute Ronald button.
One of these days I'm gonna record him. I'll probably put some like jock jams to it. Literally, that I might do that tonight. Actually, like, y'all ready for this? That would be great. It would also be terrible.
Ronald the Shock Jockey, I'm pretty sure.
When do I get Ronald's Chains and Locks speech as an EDM song?
Wait until you make it a ringtone.
Okay, never mind. I want everyone except Ronald to get rerolls.
Get your chain and get your locks. Get your chain and get your locks. Just
what I want to
that'd
know.
be your new ringtone.
I'm actually generally curious. Out of the X amount of people watching tonight, how many of y'all actually have chains and/or locks under your bed? Put your hands down. Ronald, I don't believe that for a second. You share a room with your brother. You don't. He would fucking know. He would know. Okay.
No, just go.
I'm not legally allowed to discuss this. Y'all some freaks, okay? Y'all some freaks, okay? I see you out there. But that's all right. So, friends, what happened last time?
Oh, last week, or the week prior, Ulhime was still stuck in the gem.
Yeah.
As he was talking to Memory, still trying to garner some information about Surbar's memories. We actually learned the name of one of the demons from the torn out book. Yenogu was one of the demon generals who used to dominate the demon scar up until recent. Well, I guess recently would be a relative term to demons and us, but he got defeated at one point. And when Ulhime was still talking to Memory about trying to get his Surbar's body back to him, it was more or less the wording of it, of how he was asking him to go with him, that pretty much triggered like a lockdown response, and pretty much Memory kind of went away and told him, like, essentially told him, like, it sounds like you're trying to like take Surbar's power, so no, I'm not going to go with you.
What? No,
lockdown mode. You
would never do that. You would never just think about yourself in a situation like that and only try to grow your own power. Never, not once. That's never happened before.
No. I mean, it happens a lot, but
what?
In that sense, I also don't know where Surbar's body's at. So I mean, he might have been stuck with us for a while.
That's fair. You do not know where Surbar's body is.
Yeah. Jumping over to Cort and Daniel, they went over to the tome along with Lady Thelsa.
They did?
Well, Lady Thelsa went first.
Well,
No, I
Second.
didn't.
Thelsa
Second.
went to the mayor first, and
That's
then-
right. Thelsa went to the mayor. The conversation, I believe you were asking about the Stonehaven box, if I remember correctly.
I was.
Yes.
I just wanted to alert him that there was a bloodstone, and we opened up the death of all halflings in the world.
Yeah.
And he's like, just don't touch it, leave it there. Ulhime can fuck it, and then just put a bag over it and let no one see it.
Pretty much, yeah. His response was, leave the box over it and don't ever think about it again. Build a wall in front of it and forget that it's ever there.
Yep, just forget it.
Yeah, I would believe that one of us would go ahead and suggest building a wall.
I hope not. I hope that's not the case. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we don't have the skills to work with marble.
Masons.
I do.
You know, we're gonna build a wall, and we're
Yeah,
gonna
but
make
you're
Ulhime
in the
pay for
ruby
it.
though. You're in the ruby, so
True.
the rest of us
We're
are
gonna
just
okay. What we're gonna need Ulhime to come out of the ruby, build the wall around it, and then go back into the ruby.
yeah. That
Hashtag
works, that
build a
works.
wall.
So I hope someone at this point has noticed that the screen, the actual overlay is now mobile. It's a web file. So if you guys haven't noticed it, it is it's not something that makes a ton of movement, but it's just enough to capture your eye.
Oh, the background keeps shifting. Holy shit.
Yeah. This is actually designed to imitate the walls of Cauldron. This is what the walls look like.
The basalt walls?
Yeah.
The basalt.
It shifts and moves beneath the actual surface of it. So that's definitely a thing. I hope that somebody had noticed that. So that's good. I kind of like that.
When I got Pavolvolted over?
Which time?
When
The
Silverlight
Athame
through.
time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was. Man, you just gotta. Okay, you don't really go around and kill a bunch of grandchildren, but when you do by
I
accident,
didn't. I tried to save one.
yeah.
Yeah,
You don't
I'm the
kill
one that
grandchildren
kills
often,
children,
but when you
so-
do,
Yeah.
get thrown out of a volcano.
Yeah. Going towards the tome, or you know what, Thelsa, you go ahead and kind of
Catch us
cover
up.
what you did.
What did you figure out?
Well, I first went to the mayor's office, and it was mostly just to alert the mayor of the happenings that were going on. And yeah, he basically told me just don't touch it. If it's got some kind of ancient curses in it that have been locked away by whomever, since we don't know that it's Surubar's mind, only Ulhime knows that. He's just like, just don't deal with it. Just put it away. If Ulhime can get out, great. If not, I would rather Ulhime leave this world than you release everything that could be bound to this gem. And so
Yeah.
we were like, okay, we'll just do whatever we see fit. Catch you later. We'll keep you updated. And that was about the conversation I had with the mayor.
It certainly went places.
Yeah.
Now I know that there were some other conversations that happened. You guys decided you were going to make a move and speak to a particular red lady.
Yes. I showed up shortly after the other two had arrived. They were both heading downstairs as I arrived. So I hung out with Charlie and put the music back on for him, and we started dancing a little bit while I waited for these two to come back up, because I would prefer to talk to Mr. Sasha alone than in a group.
Mm-hmm.
Probably less, or probably more dangerous to do so that way than it would be to do it like in a group. But well, I'm not too worried about it. She doesn't come off as someone who wants to instantly eat me in my eyes, especially because when I visited, she had mentioned that she kind of likes me.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, one false move and suddenly I'm toasted, Thelsa, but
You're not wrong.
yeah.
So what
I'll
did
see
you
if-
what did you
I'll
hope
see if
to find out though when you spoke with her? What sort of information did you ask versus what did she explain to you?
I was just going to see if there was a way she could help get Ulhime out of the gem. Mostly because I don't know what kind of power this thing holds, and I really just want it for the Ruby Convocation, and that was the entirety of it.
Mm-hmm.
Its magical significance was not something I would have purchased it for. But when I went to visit her, she mentioned that it was a bloodstone, which
Yes.
is essentially super compressed dragon's blood, like how fossil fuels are made, but with dragons, and they turn into bloodstones.
Clean magic.
It being part of her kin, she wants to collect it or gain power from it or whatever her secret motives are, but it's not my concern. She offered to bless the church with dragon fire for the ceremony, and offered a piece of her own scales, which are made of solid ruby. And it was about the size of a dinner plate that she offered, and I was like, I mean, it's a deal to me if I can get this to you, but I have to unbind these spectral chains that bind it to where it is. And the only way we know of doing that was how Keegan Gelv passed away 2 sessions ago. The end of 2 sessions ago, when he touched it with his blood, and it unleashed the.
You got this.
I want to say fading, but I know that's not the word.
Correct. The vanishing. Correct.
The vanishing.
That's
right.
vanishing.
And a little insight on what the vanishing is all of the halflings in Cauldron just started like getting Thanos snapped out of existence and turned into dust, and all of a
nobody
sudden
knows
it
why.
stopped.
It's
And
a very
again-
good name for it.
And nobody knows why there either.
Yeah. Nobody knows why it started. Nobody knows why it stopped. But Keegan
it
Gill was one of
happened
the
in
last
Jizadrun.
halflings. Yeah,
Say that
and
again,
in
Cort?
Jizadrun. Oh yeah, that was something else I learned when I was talking to the mayor. Was that there were some like extremely powerful magics at play in Jizadrun, and they called them the Weavers, and they essentially just weaved magic in strange ways, but it was so arcane and bound that it was above the comprehension of our magic levels.
It's way above your pay grade. Way above your pay grade.
Yeah, not something we want to deal with. But when I talked to the mayor, he said that since we can read it and the way we can interpret this item that does seem to be weaved in magic, it was not made by the Weavers. It was made by someone kind of copying an art style kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it proves effective, but we can read it, and that's why it's different.
Now I know that Daniel had a bit of a meeting with Thelsa, or not Thelsa, excuse me, with Sasha as well. Daniel, you weren't alone. Who did you go with?
I went with Cort.
And
Cort.
what did you guys do there? What were you hoping to glean?
Well, from what I remember, I was trying to get my blindness cured, which she did by spitting in my face, quite literally.
It awoke some things in him, but then we moved past it.
But I guess the vibe she was giving off is that she pitied me rather than like she didn't look at me as like anything else. She just kind of like pitied me, but I guess
That's because she knows what you are.
yeah. But my interest in Sasha is that of like kind of like I want to help her, so like in the long run she kind of like helps me. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how to get on her good side.
Sure.
Despite
So you
Just-
offered to be her herald, in which she shot down. Quite
well,
quite
no, it wasn't shot down. It was never brought up. Thelsa didn't want to bring it up.
Yeah, when
Oh,
you
yeah, that's right, you
when you
told
guys came upstairs before I went downstairs,
yeah.
you mentioned, "Hey, if she wants a herald, like
tell her.
Bro
tell her
deal.
I know a guy."
Yeah.
But then I just never brought it up. I said pass on it. It's not my place to
Smarter.
ask.
Daniel's kind of like getting in a mindset, like kind of like getting a lay of like the group and what they're involved in, that we're probably gonna need help.
Hey,
And
this is still technically only your first day in the town.
yeah, and a lot has happened in
A
the
lot.
few, yeah. So it's like if I'm gonna be traveling with these people, I need to like I I'm kind of starting to get into my mindset of like I need to start making connections. I need to start seeing where
I'm generally
where I
curious
can cover
though.
my tracks.
I've
You
got to
need to
know
get into the Thieves Guild.
why.
Stupid.
Why are you? Why? And surely that this is biting off a lot. What is drawing Daniel to this group at this point? What is the motivator for Daniel being around? What do you think is
So-
keeping him interested?
At first, it was kind of like, let's see what these guys got on them kind of thing. When I first bumped into Cort, it was like, okay, I got this guy's money, but then it's like, he seemed to have like a bit of an innocence to him. So it's kind of like, well, I don't want to take everything for this, what he's got. In my mind, it was like, it'll be a lesson for him. Kind of like, hold on to your stuff, you know, just be a little bit more cautious. It's kind of like that's kind of like a payment that I gave to him. Like, hey, here's your money. Be careful with it. Joining up with Ulhime, I had very little interaction with him. As far as I know, he's a dude that got his arms blown off at this point. Thelsa, Daniel's more intrigued with Thelsa in the sense that he doesn't quite understand what makes her tick.
Hey, that's my girl.
Shut up. He's intrigued because he sees her someone's that's like willing to kind of like think through a situation much like how he does, but he doesn't know her enough to be like, oh yeah, you know, she seems like good people. Like to me, like, okay, well, she's a smart person, but like, what the hell has she gotten herself into hanging out with these clowns?
Sure.
And then with Jacob's like he looks like, you know, nightmare fuel at this point. So but despite his appearances, I don't think he's inherently evil, because from Daniel's perspective, no one truly is. No one's truly evil. Like you can be a beholder, but you know, you can have like, you know, the heart of gold too. So it's more of a sense that I want to get to know Jakob, but like, why is he so quick to react aggressively as well?
A beholder with a heart of gold.
Hey,
Oh,
you never
man.
know.
The heart of Golder.
Yeah.
All those
Heart of
eyes, and he
Golder.
still can't see why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
We're gonna get TOS with that so hard. Shut up.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, guys. So we just basically got a recap of what's happened this last session. Bear in mind, not a lot has occurred. It's only been about the equivalent of, I would say, around an hour. Jakob had to stay behind. Unfortunately, Sniper wasn't with us last session, but Jakob stuck around to guard this particular situation to the best of his ability. He knows some of the things that lurk in the town, and if something like this were to fall into the wrong hands, even if they could even temporarily remove, it might be incredibly cumbersome. So Jakob stuck around to guard this in his absence. Now, while we're doing this, the last thing that I have to say before we kick off tonight's game in true fashion, it is the month of October, and as such, every year we hold the Bit Boss Bloodbath, where your reputation is on the line. The Bit Boss starts every session with 10,000 health, and you guys have to nickel and dime or fell sweep this thing until it's gone. If you fail to, it will remove up to a maximum of 100% of its max total health, all the way down to as low as 10%, but it will always remove some. It's a die roll. It comes down to that much. Not every day is going to be the same. Some days it may have many, many more. Some days it may have none. It just depends on whatever the situation may be. But Monday and today, it started with 10,000. You guys are most of the way through. And the kicker is, if you happen to be the last remaining, standing before the stream ends, you'll get a point. And that point can be cashed in. If you happen to be the winner, by the end of the month, you have the most points, you'll get a Bubber-infused loot box, a loot crate inspired by all of the things that I think are dope out of this year, which admittedly are not that many things. But the things that I think are still cool can arrive at your place. In the past, it's been books, magic cards, D&D things, comic books, adventure paths, plushies, vinyl figures, electrical equipment, headphones, keyboards, stuff like that. All kinds of weird stuff. T-shirts. It's a lot. It's worthwhile, and it's definitely worth for you guys to try to acquire that spot. So far, there's only been 1 point out, and we've only had, this is the second stream of the month, so it's definitely worthwhile, guys. Consider it. Thank you for that much. We are a few gift subs away from our second luck reroll. We're 4 away, and we're going to start with whomever would like to begin here. Who would like this spot? Who would like to begin our session today?
I'm down.
Okay. Daniel, where did you last end?
We stopped off. I think we were heading. Was it Charlie's place?
No, we just walked out of the tome.
You just left the
we were
tome.
gonna go back to the bathhouse.
Okay.
Because we had just saw Thelsa walk upstairs as we were leaving.
Gotcha. So me and you are heading back, right? Or is it just me at this point?
It was me.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna make our way back to the bathhouse in order to catch up with Jacob and fill him in on what's going on.
Sure. It's still a very average day. You've not really burned through much of the time. It's early afternoon, and you have open air, lots of new knowledge. The people that pass by you are mundane compared to the things that you've seen. They're average people. Most of them appear to be human, as far as your first sight goes, but you can't help but glance over your shoulder for a second take. You've met quite a variety in such a short time. Who's to say that these people around you now don't behold such similar secrets? Cort stands to your side. He walks along with you. He's so nonchalant. Is there some sort of ambiguous innocence that lurks beneath the surface? What keeps him in tow with the monsters that surround this newfound lot?
Lots of serial killing.
You begin to wonder about the boy yourself.
Elsa would also be heading back, but she'd be following behind them by a good distance, trying to get a read on Daniel. She still doesn't know how to feel about him yet.
Okay.
Perception check. Just
Perception.
If you want to try, I'm not really
Rolls away.
stealthing. I'm just following from like 20 feet back.
Rolls a net. I see you following me.
I'm just gonna kind of, as I'm walking, scratch my head. Cort, a lot of unravel here. How do you suggest we take back what we know and help out your friend Ulhime? I mean, it's a little overwhelming, but maybe you got an idea of how we can tackle this situation.
I'm really not quite sure. Because it seems like if we want Ulhime back, we're gonna have to open those chains or whatever. But if Sasha wants it, she's not gonna free Ulhime right away. And
Well,
we don't know what'll happen every time we break a chain.
it's true. I mean, we got the part about, the dragon blood part. I mean, I just don't know what'll happen to me if I do it. So we either find someone who's willing, or I, take a roll of the dice on this one and see what happens.
Thelsa, can I get a perception from you, please?
For me?
From Thelsa. It's really, really good. Even staying 20 feet back, sort of meandering through the general public, you focus on the small bits of speech that they share between themselves. It doesn't really seem like they're having some sort of serious talk, as far as you can tell. There is, I don't want to say a source of like ennui that sits between them, but you can see that there is something that is something that seems to be a bit shocking, if you will. It's holding Daniel in a questionable stance. He seems to constantly be like sort of like rubbing the back of his head. He's walking and he's glancing back over to the left like he's got questions. His brow is furrowed. Cort seems not so addled. He's answering with the best that he can. Cort can bear to offer so much.
He's just he's walking through town. Ain't nothing gonna slow him down.
You can hear what they're saying. It's difficult at first, but as you focus your senses and drown out the rest of the environment, You hear him asking about what to do and should we help your friend Ulhime and the sort. And do you maintain your 20-foot pace back to continue watching, or do you just hang forward? Do you try to come up and speak?
I'm still gonna sit back this far. I kind of want to see if I can eavesdrop on if they are to talk about what they conversed with Sasha about, but I don't want to pry for information and make it seem like I want to know. I'm
Sure.
just listening to see if anything happens.
Sure. So then what do you say, Cort? He asks, should we do something with this information? Should we help your friend Ulhime? How do we help Ulhime?
Cort doesn't really know. I think we might have to go back and maybe see what Jacob's thinking about it first and see what he wants to do. Maybe after Thelsa gets back and finishes her talk with Thelsa or with Sasha, we can talk to her too.
With
I mean-
a sordid shrug, he just passes it off as he's not really sure.
Something's better than nothing. At this point, the more time we spend out here or wherever your friend isn't, it seems like he might be in danger. I figure, if anything, hopefully wherever he's at doesn't pass by faster than it does out here. Different realms and all that. Time travels. Time just moves differently. So for all we know, he could be there and for a second, could be there for 100 years. Might as well just do something.
I think if he went to the other world, I think it's longer out here than it is in there. So, but that's only if he went to that one area. I don't know if the crystal's the same.
Same as what?
Well, there's a portal to Ox. Port's gonna just kind of scratch his head. It's a portal in the church. It kind of led to hell. It's probably the best way to put it.
You have a portal in a church.
In Thelsa's church specifically.
And is it sealed, or do you guys still have it kind of just open?
I haven't really been to the church since we fought the spirit in there. And Cort's gonna kind of look at his stomach and, yeah.
You hear the thrum of the machine gut that has been placed by someone that you believe to have been known as Keegan Gelv, a name that you've heard a lot recently. And now he is gone. An eeriness hangs between the two of you. You're nearing your destination. You can see the bathhouse coming up. Is it still quiet in this time? Okay. Then we'll move this back. The camera turns as you begin to near that place. I want to know what happens with Jakob in that time that he's alone. You can sort of recap the things briefly, or you can have conversation with yourself, some monologizing, if you will. But it's entirely up to you. So what does this look like for Jakob in that hour that passes before someone returns?
Really, there's not much to it. Jakob is just camped out in his chair watching the box. From afar, he's trying to just glean any other words that he could, just out of pure necessity for something to do. But, it's one of those things where not a lot gets done if nobody comes around.
Then you hang out for a while. Occasionally you feel as if you may hear something like a wry scream or this shrill pitch ring out from this ruby that seems to hover in the air, these chains that seem to slowly twist in the room. But nothing.
Nope. He knows better than to fuck with things that he has no understanding of.
Jacob, it's a very precarious situation you find yourself in, because every time thus far it's been the other way around. It's been you that's been stuck. You that's been in the pickle. And now you're sitting on the outside. And it's Ulhime that has found himself in a very sticky situation. It's almost ironic. For this entire
I'm not
time,
exactly feeling bad about this situation.
most of the time it's felt like my brother's keeper sort of situation, and now it's almost as if those roles have reversed. You're alone. Do you say anything out of angst or anger? Not that you're sure Ulhime would hear, but I'm curious what would be going through Jacob's mind.
If the shoe were on the other foot, I'm sure right now you'd be saying something inspirational to the rest. But right now, I just can't help but think, you deserve this. More and more as of late, you've been getting heady and egotistical and self-centered, and nothing's really mattered beyond your own wants and needs. And here you are, thinking you can solve everything with whatever power it is you think you've come across. And here you are. Trapped. Helpless. Well, at least now you know how I felt when I lost my leg. Not that I think that you're going to come out of this any different. Dead gods know once you get free of this, you're probably going to think yourself so clever. Now, hopefully you'll remember it just wasn't me this time that needed your help. Though I have ideas on how to go ahead and give mine. And that's pretty much it.
There is no response that comes back from the crystal. No one there to hear as you glance around. Sort of feels a little bizarre to speak out in such a way and expect a response, but no one musters anything. There is no retort. There is no laughter. There is no boy or kid or anything that Ulhime would say. It always felt very bizarre, because though he is much older than you, as a dwarf, you're roughly the same age. At least it feels that way. It's also funny, given that you've recently learned your own age. Irony. It sits for a while and hangs before you can hear the footfall again from those entering into this place. A familiar face and a brand new one, Cort and Daniel. They walk inside. The air is no longer dull. There is nothing left to hang. They're not exactly silent, as you've come to learn the thrum of his mechanical gut.
Scissors, you here? Got some info. Might want to hear it.
Yes, I'm still back here. And I do have a name, you know.
Jakob. Kind of just.
That's better.
I'm gonna walk over to the back where the jewel is, just kind of hanging out. Hey, so we spoke to one of your friends, Sasha, a little while ago.
Oh, that
quite-
must have been interesting.
A little bit. Helped me out with my eyes, so I mean that's a plus, and bit of info, I guess. To sum it up, this entire jewel thing is it's locked in a bunch of different ways, ways that are not good, just to say the least.
It's also made out of dragon blood. And Sasha wants it.
Well, I don't doubt at all that she wants it, especially if it's dragon's blood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well-
it's an extremely rare material. I mean, how many dragons have have we ever come across, and how many of them do you think bleed?
Just gonna put my hands up.
You're not really sure what to make of that. He's not really showing you anything that makes you think he's a dragon.
Okay.
Long story, really long, but
We're
we
just gonna
may
leave it
be
there.
able to kind of unlock it with the blood of different races, but there's a drawback.
There's always a drawback.
Yeah, this one's a little bit stronger than the other ones. So, in let's just say a hypothetical sense, one of the dragon locks on here was undone. Well, one of the most catastrophic events from related to a dragon, like on that piece of paper we had, written down, that'll happen again.
So what you're telling me is that
Apocalyptic
we-
bingo. Yes.
What's bingo?
It's a common folk game. It's older people in my village played it.
Okay. So basically, if we go about this the way it's intended to go, we'd be spurring on catastrophes upon the world again.
Quite a few of them.
Yeah, and that's just to maybe get your friend out. So I don't know if unlocking it will be the best idea, or maybe going in there, or how we can handle this. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be pretty either way.
I don't think this is one of those situations where we can just go in there. After all, I can barely get close enough to it.
Oh, yeah, do you remember where that portal was in the church?
The portal faded away, it was sealed.
Cort's gonna
The only
kinda-
one who had access to Occipitus anymore was Ulhime, because he owned it. Though I think he also mentioned something about giving it away, or trying to Daddy Dearest.
What's your friend Thelsa think of all this?
Thelsa,
Or,
you've been hanging out near the front of the building at this time. I imagine that you've sort of paused to wait to see if they spoke any more of the things that you've encountered. Do you wish to make an entrance at this point?
Yeah, as soon as he started talking to me, I'd step in.
The hell would I know what that bitch is up to?
I'm just gonna stop and look for a couple seconds and just kind of clear my throat after I hear
What
these
maybe?
kind words.
excuse his language. Just trying to figure out what's your 2 silver beyond the situation.
Well, I'm not certain. The mayor wants us to leave it and leave Ulhime inside, and Sasha wants us to release everything. So we don't really have a set path here,
So we're damned if we do, and we're damned if we don't.
unless Ulhime can find a way to get out of there from within.
Let me ask you this: who do you trust more, the mayor or Sasha?
There.
Neither.
Not neither. Who do you trust more?
I mean Sasha, but
Not
I
two
don't
of-
trust Sasha.
Young man, one is a beholder. The other's a dragon. Do you think there's any reason why we would trust either?
But Sasha's pretty cute.
Both of you.
Well,
have
I mean, don't get me wrong. She also, you know, when she slapped me around, made me feel some kind of way. But that's entirely up to me. And, well, I can get that kind of treatment from, you know, from my boss.
That's
Well-
sexual harassment suit waiting to happen.
I don't think standing around is gonna be much use. I mean,
I happen to agree. And
Thelsa-
again, if this is a situation where you're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't, and he'll just unsling his scythe and turn around and swing for the first chain.
Make an attack for me.
damn it.
Attacking magical objects always goes well.
Especially when they're highly magical. Remember what happened to that one dragon that one time?
Can I run behind the wall while he's doing this?
I'm just gonna stand there and watch.
You can get a
He's
reflex
just doing
save.
it. Oh shit!
You can get a reflex save. If you
Alright.
succeed in a reflex, then we'll see what happens.
Let's see if this does it right.
Imagine we have to relive the fucking goblin attack again.
I just like
Yeah,
that
but
people possessed by
the way I see it is, it was things that he stopped from happening while they were midway through, and he
No,
wasn't
we
alive.
don't know how much of the goblin attack was thwarted.
Yeah, but he wasn't alive when the goblin attack happened. So
Yeah,
unless
true.
he could take the things that were happening while his memory was trapped in here, but that just seems like it seems like it would have to be something that was created at the same time.
Daniel,
or something,
give me a reflex,
something
please.
that was plaguing them at that moment.
Whom?
Daniel, give me a reflex, please.
Una momento. Let me see, where did it go?
Checking the chain seeks out the closest blood.
Yeah, I don't actually try and step away. I'm just gonna stand and watch to see what happens. Mind you, I'm still relatively close to the door.
That 20 on a fucking reflex.
Well done. Well done, Daniel. You succeed without fail. You see him unsling the scythe from his back, and despite calling him scissors, he didn't respond viscerally or hostile, but something has drawn the damned if you do, damned if you don't out of him. And with some unseen vitriol, he takes a swing at one of these ethereal chains. Okay. So. I have to write this down so I can remember. Your scythe, as it dreams up for the swing and prepares for this slash, you bring it down across the first chain in front of you, and for a moment, it seems to almost catch as if it's going to stop. But much to your surprise, it cuts through it like butter. It severs the chain, and it disappears much in the same way that Keegan Gelf did. Jacob,
The chain or the scythe?
the chain.
It would be really bad if the scythe did that.
Jacob,
Yeah.
I need you to give me a will save.
Oh boy.
Remember, you only have one luck reroll.
Yeah, I think I'm going to burn that one luck reroll.
You now have 0 luck rolls, is what you meant to say. Hey, that's an actual
That's
reroll.
better.
Jacob. A flashing vision erupts before your eyes. A figure staring down at a tribe of goblinoid men. They appear as if they're crying, or so you would think that they might be. You can't be for certain. When the hand extends outward, you recognize it, the same red-tinted flesh of Naphtatorin. The one that is leading this pact seems to bite forth its thumb in a manner that is quite nasty, and it starts to sign away on this gem, making what looks to be a story. Can you read Goblin?
No, I can read orc, not
Okay.
goblin.
Then you have no idea what it is that they're writing. but they're weaving in a pattern that is familiar with magic. But what you see is something very different. You're certain they're goblin, but there's something very wrong with the entire tribe's eyes. The eyes are covered in lumps, bulbous masses, and pustules, and none of them can see. They weep, and when they cry, blood pours forth from their eyes. And when they finish this pact, their eyes clear. The masses, the bulbs of which seem to fall weakly. It shows their beautiful eyes back into the world, and the goblins can see yet again. But yet their tears do not stop. They cry, and if they had a tail to tuck, they would. You sense regret in their hearts. They carry their kin away with their newfound vision, and they head for the hills. When the figure turns, glancing down, you see them staring up at a volcano, and the vision ceases to exist. I need a perception check, please, from Cort, from Thelsa, and from Daniel. Thelsa and Daniel. It could have just been some sort of shrapnel, something that may have occurred, but something appears slightly off about Jakob's face. You notice that there is what looks to be some sort of boil beginning to rise just below his left eye. Maybe he was struck. When the chain erupted, something bounced back and struck him in the face.
Despite this, I'm just going to start slow clapping.
The slow clap seems to emanate.
Not that Jacob's really hearing it. Of that vision, while he does see it all, it kind of, emotionally stops for him at seeing his father, knowing that he's somehow involved in this binding of a stone. And he grits his teeth and carries on with a bit more fervor.
Hey, Jacob, you got a little blister or something on your eye, like right about here. Something hit you?
Yeah, he's not even paying attention.
Okay, make another attack for me.
Sure thing. And you want it to just be a full attack, or?
Yeah, I just this matters. If it was just something that I could just say that you roleplayed off, then it's about intent more than anything else.
Okay.
So seeing the roll, therein lies intent. Okay.
Now, what happens when I confirm a crit on, on all this
Probably
shit?
less great.
Do you have cleave by chance?
Oh no.
I don't know that you can live through all of them, so I just want you to cut them all at once.
Go down swinging, taking like 8 chains at once.
Cleave is a matter of intent at this point. You do, in fact, you cleave through another chain. Give me a will save.
Oh fucking boy. You're gonna not roll a 20 on this one.
4. Ooh, nice. Sexy.
It was close. It was close.
Come on, push the button. Yeah.
And Sloth is giving you a chance with another luck roll. Do you use it
Thank
now?
you, Sloth. I love you too, Truck Daddy.
That moment when
Oh,
Sloth
man.
actually wants to know what the vision is.
You know,
Not that he
5
wants to see you succeed. He wants to know what the vision is.
Oh.
Nice.
No eyes for you.
5 more, guys. 5 more, and it's another lick reroll. Who wants to know this story?
Oh, fuck! Oh, man. Pretty sure he immediately regretted his decision at the words truck daddy. Oh, my God. Not wrong. Not wrong at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jacob, I ask, how many times will you continue to do this?
He's going to go ahead and just continue at it, especially now that he knows that it's his father's doing.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, he's not
Okay,
gonna. He's not stopping.
Curious. Cort, Thelsa, Daniel, based on the things that you have seen and you have learned, I'm curious, does anybody try to stop him? You literally
Not
learned
at all.
that they are chains of plight. And you're just like, keep going.
I'm not
Yeah.
encouraging him, but I'm not stopping him.
Yeah, yeah. I
Fucking
don't-
Cort is
it's
just
a
like
bad idea.
It's just like Wonka in the back. He's
Yeah.
like, no, wait, stop.
He's like, wait, he has to learn from his consequences first. Maybe this time he'll learn.
I'm on the opposite side of the wall, holding my face like this, be like, this is the worst decision I made. Traveling by myself was the best idea.
Yeah, I think I'm actually just gonna, when I see him start to go for the second one and cut it, I'm gonna like step out and show that I have no association with this.
You just like leave the building entirely?
Yeah, I'm just walking
Oh
out.
my god!
I'm going to the tip tankard.
Now you see, chat. This is the kind of fucking teamwork
I want you
that
to
makes
know.
the dream work.
I want you to know if I come back from this and my bathhouse is gone, you're gonna be gone with it.
Yeah, I'm turning,
All right.
I'm walking, I'm going to the bar. I'm not, this is not the day.
That moment when Thelsa's
Not
like,
feeling it.
yo,
Dude, I'm sorry, my fish is on fire. I gotta go, guys. Later.
Thelsa just pieces out. Like, not today.
Yeah, she sees him losing his shit, and she's like, "Yo, that's not gonna be in me."
Cort's watching for
That's
when
my cue to leave.
Cort's watching for when he inevitably has to take Jacob to the medical tent.
Yeah, I'm, but seriously, Thelsa's going to the tankard. She's going to get some meat. She
Yeah.
does, it's not the time.
All right. All right. Well, I'm keeping track of the chains via the rolls of the chains that you destroy.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
wondering what happened with that crit.
Well, I wish I could tell you, but you didn't see the vision.
I really wish I could tell you.
DC was 25. Oh boy, do I wish I could. Man, it would like. You remember the time that you guys critically rolled on breaking a gem and it let loose a giant dragon? This is sort of like that fucking moment that progresses things infinitely faster than I necessarily
Yeah,
intend for that to happen.
It makes it so much worse.
Okay.
Ulhime doesn't tell me about
Thelsa.
things. This is why Ulhime doesn't
Thelsa,
tell you.
Cort,
Yeah.
Daniel, Jacob, I need a perception check.
Oh, perception first? Okay.
Yes.
Passive perception as I'm walking out of the building.
Oh yeah.
17.
Which somehow manages to be the highest out of all of us.
No, Thelsa whooped the shit out of everything.
No, that's what I was saying. Thelsa was like, I'm gonna give a passing glance as I walk away. Casually gets the highest of the perception rolls.
I just see her skin starting to crack. Like
And
it's
you're just like,
no,
not today.
No, out.
Daniel, what's your perception, please?
He got bumped out of roll 20.
Goodbye, Steven. We'll miss you.
Hey, Sideshow, what's up, buddy?
Steven, you're still muted. We were looking for your perception.
Oh,
roll.
did my roll not go
Yes.
through?
No,
No,
did not go
and
through.
your roll 20 died.
Let me check. Let me check real quick.
Yeah, you might need to refresh it. Oh, there you are. You're back.
Yeah, mine did the same thing right now too. Like I couldn't see Sniper's will save.
Well, I see a Rotcoil. Let's see what he gets for a roll. Paid for the whole seat, but I only need the edge of it.
Oh no.
Hey, there we go. Wow, that's nice. Nice, well done.
I'm
Oh,
calling
shit.
hacks now.
He actually called it.
With Thelsa still getting higher.
Thelsa, Rotcoil, Thelsa and Daniel, you guys will both immediately you will feel this. To them, it's not gonna feel like much. Like Cort, Jakob, man, this cauldron's been in disarray for so long, and Jakob might actually finally be losing it.
Just now?
So you're not really sure. You can't feel this, but this isn't something that you can detect with your eyes. It's not something that you detect with your the sound around you. You feel it in your feet. There is a shake in your feet. A tremor that ripples upward to where you stand. And it's subtle. It's brief.
Is it similar to the one we had a few days ago? Because I remember there was a tremor we had a few days ago, and I could tell it was directional. Like, it was very brief, but I had a really good perception, and I could tell it was coming from the north part of Cauldron.
You're right. It did in fact feel as if it was moving. Something was moving beneath you. This is different. The whole ground shakes.
The world shakes.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I'm gonna kind of look around. Is this bathhouse about to collapse? Do I need to get outside?
Can I kinda
I'm already walking outside.
I'm gonna kind of look around the bathhouse. Does anything look out of place at the moment? I mean,
How far
aside
are you
from it
going to
being-
look?
Right.
I look towards the dude with the scythe cutting imperial disasters.
I
There
guess
are two
more-
poles filled with scabby blood to the rear side. There is a giant gaping hole in the front where a Leviathan clockwork worm crushed through it. There's a spot where an enormous lightning elemental put its paw through the roof. And then if you go down far enough, you'll find countless droppings of goblins that were left in rear rooms.
Did we ever clean up the assassination attack?
No, you guys, no. The only person that's
So
cleaned
that
anything has
means
been
that there's
Ulhime.
that also means in the like pool that you walk down this like the hot tub jacuzzi area, there's also just corpses. Just
Okay, those were there. You guys have
we
you have
clean the corpses, but the blood.
no correction. You guys didn't clean the corpses. Someone came around to collect those. There's a reason that you collect the dead.
That's nice. Well, those guys were good. They did, but still dirt.
As it's shaking, is like there any like when I say out of place, like is anything like physically changing in the room that I'm in at the moment?
Is the room falling in itself? Is what
No,
he's
it
asking.
doesn't
Something
seem
like
to. No, there is momentary what looks to be like dust, debris, seemingly shake and fall. I do think that Ronald, Steven, I think you guys are having internet issues. You both keep disconnecting from Roll20. Just you two.
That's so weird. Let me check.
It's fine. Just letting you guys know. It keeps showing you guys disconnecting. So you're attacking again, Jacob. You've already succeeded in attacking. I'm gonna go ahead and roll a d20. I want to see what chain you break.
What's the strongest thing they have at the tip tankard?
A hammer.
Let me do a test real fast. I just want to see if
I'm getting 3.
And a lot more than that.
You guys can see that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yep, and I don't get to watch this vision either.
You do not.
Yeah, so as is, I continue to go ahead and just hack through these, completely ignorant as to what's tied to each one, just having that first vision.
Ulhime, The camera pans. While we see Jakob losing his mind, throwing caution to the wind. Completely to the wind. Things change. Things shift. The world and their surroundings alter. Back inside the Ruby Hold. The mind of Surabar Spellmason trapped inside of the compressed and pressurized blood of a dragon. Ulhime. You sit and you wait. You wait. You no longer have access to memory. You're not sure why or what may have caused this. You're not sure if it was the words that you used or the intent behind them. But memory is left. What you can see, however, is light. New light begins to form from around you. Bands. They shift. They shake. And they decorate the floors in new angles, giving you different shades of red. Some golden hues. And then briefly, for slivers break open, through the runic markings, you can see a tiefling man attacking around the gem. You immediately recognize him.
Good old dumbass at it again. Just kidding. Seeing him do this, seeing these bands break, I would give it a quick attempt and call out memory. What's happening?
Oh man. Oh man.
Jarvis, status report.
What a thing to be asking.
He's all like, I don't even have the words. Like, everything that can go wrong is. Enough said.
Let's see. I'm just doing some quick fiddling real fast to see if I can get this just right. We're gonna give it a shot. Does that work? There we go. Okay. Memory chimes in. It break. It breaks. Someone free memory.
But you said that would kill you, didn't it?
Someone come free memory. They find Surabar body.
No, how do we... Is there a way we can signal them to get them to stop? This shouldn't be happening, right?
No one should have access. Only those seeking to return the memory of Surabar Spellmason to the soul, to the body. Only them.
Ulhime runs towards like one of the bands of light, and like the last point where you saw Jacob, he'll stand like in the center of that band of light and yell out, "Stop attacking! Stop attacking!"
Perception check from Sniper. And this is gonna be incredibly challenging, and I know how many points you've put into your perception. I can't. You're talking like a sliver. It's almost impossible. I think the only person that I would be able to give this to at this point would likely be Thelsa or Ulhime, given they broke 40 again. So, no matter your screams, no matter the things that you say and or do, there's no response. He continues to draw back this bladed scythe, wreaking havoc over the chains around him.
Ulhime will turn But
Go ahead.
I was gonna turn to him and yell, "Is there a way to preserve you so you don't die? If he breaks the chains, that's what's gonna happen, isn't it?"
If the chains are broken, I can only be placed back. I was hidden for this reason. The memory of Surabar Spellmason is a gift greater than no man is prepared for.
From Soraba. From Soraba. We help all men.
We don't have his body yet. Is there a way you can keep yourself contained even after the gem is broken?
We find the body. You will find the body.
We help Soraba. You help Soraba.
I can't do anything from here. If he breaks the chains, that's it.